Stillman Valley High School student is taken into custody, what authorities say led to the building being put on soft lockdown. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is just days away. The unique way a local hospital is spreading the word and encouraging people to get screened. And after months of delays, renovations on a Rockford community space are finally moving forward when work is now set to begin at Davis Park.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening. I'm Mimi Murphy. Thanks for joining us. A student was taken into custody by police after a lockdown at Stillman Valley High School. Ogle County Sheriff's deputies were called to the school around 9:15 this morning. Authorities say a student was being uncooperative. Administrators put the school on soft lockdown. Byron Police and Stillman Fire Protection District also responded. Officials say this was a non-violent encounter. 4 people face charges in Janesville after a raid of a suspected drug house. 52-year-old Jody Thurman was arrested on multiple drug charges, including maintaining a premises for drug trafficking. Rock County Sheriff's SWAT officers searched the home on East Milwaukee Street around 6:30 this morning. Thurman is set to appear in court tomorrow afternoon. Tracy Hilt, Cresha Unseth, and Kane Roll were also arrested. They're all charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. They've all since been released. Rockford police arrest suspects as part of an aggravated assault investigation. Brian Davis faces a long list of charges. He's in the Winnebago County Jail tonight. On September 14th, officers responded to an apartment complex on Carthage Drive. Victims say Davis had stolen a car and was armed with a firearm. Officers later arrested him. Police say they found multiple guns along with ammo belonging to Davis. Nearly 400 grams of drugs were found in his apartment. Dominique Cotton and Courtney Feltz were also arrested as part of the investigation. A former Illinois senator is making another run for governor. Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. Darren Bailey officially kicked off his campaign today, stopping in cities across the state. He's looking to reclaim the Republican nomination, focusing on business, public safety, and education. The conservative farmer easily won the 2022 primary, but lost by a dozen points to Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Taxes are too high, opportunity doesn't exist, our children are moving out of the state, and people just simply can't afford to live and work here. So Pritzker's caused all that, and I think we're going to bring the cure.
The field for the March Republican primary, also Ted Dabrowski from Wire Points and DuPage County Sheriff James Mendrick. A U.S. congressman was in Rockford today to visit a resource center for local entrepreneurs. Representative Eric Sorensen stopped by Think Big this afternoon to meet with the co-founders of the support program. They help minority and women-owned businesses who are struggling to get off the ground. More than 600 business leaders have completed courses at Think Big since its opening earlier this year.
We're growing businesses in Rockford from the heart of town, right? From North Main and Auburn. But it's not just taking a class, it's having that coach that's going to see you through all the way to success. That's how we build not only good business, but that's how we build a stronger Rockford.
Think Big was funded in part by federal grant money. Another congressman was in the state line today. Representative Darren LaHood stopped by 4 City Gear in Roscoe. It's a custom gear manufacturing company. The Republican lawmaker met with its owners and toured the facility. LaHood spoke with us about the importance of supporting family-owned businesses.
You have to have tax policy the right way, tariff policy, but also hearing from them firsthand. We want, the private sector to be flourishing. In order to do that, you've got to give them the ability to do that, and so that's why federal tax policy is important. I mentioned earlier the research and development tax credit, immensely beneficial so that they can continue to grow and prosper.
4 City Gear has been operating in the state line since 1955. It's nearly Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and instead of pink, a state line hospital is using a different color to raise awareness. Rochelle Community Hospital is launching the Know Your Lemons campaign. The program's aimed at informing people about the signs and symptoms of breast cancer. It uses a scale of 12 lemons to show what it can look and feel like. While the campaign is focused on breast cancer, the hospital staff want to emphasize awareness for all forms of cancer.
Obviously, breast cancer is one of the cancers that affects a lot of people and is, well known and marketed within the public. But we kind of want to make sure that we're supporting everybody. So we really, with the Cancer Resource Fund, we really try to help anybody who has been recently diagnosed or they're in the middle of their fight.
Coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from a radiographer at the hospital who knows firsthand the importance of cancer screenings. Long-awaited renovations to a park in downtown Rockford are now set to begin next week. The city announced work on Davis Park will start Tuesday. Detours will be in place along the Riverwalk path during construction. The over $15 million project will see the addition of a skate park and a playground. The city expects construction to be completed in the spring. Roads are closed right now in parts of Belvedere for tonight's high school homecoming parade. The parade's expected to begin in less than an hour at 5:45. It will begin at the intersection of West 1st Street and Garfield Avenue. The parade will follow the highlighted route before ending back at Belvedere High. Roads along the scheduled path are closed to all traffic during this parade. And Pecatonicca's homecoming events also tonight. It steps off at 6 at the high school. The parade will head north on Washington Street before turning west on 3rd Street, south on Main, west onto 7th, before heading back south to the school. A pep rally will be held on the track afterwards. 3 State Line siblings honor their late grandfather. When we come back, we'll learn how they're helping others who are dealing with loss. And coming up tonight at 6, a Rockford business owner using his skills to get boaters back on the water. We'll take a look at few-man boats in tonight's Made in the State Land.
We have a lot of warm days and cool nights ahead heading through the weekend. I'll let you know what that means for our exact temperatures for those afternoons and overnights and preview how long it might be before we see rain again coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Grandparents hold a special place in our hearts, and for 3 Rockford siblings, the loss of their grandfather hit them hard. So they came together to publish a book in his memory. Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz sat down with the authors today. And Blake, what did they have to say?
Well, Mimi, they told me that this book is more than a tribute to their grandfather. It's siblings wanting to create a permanent testament to the power of family.
From heaven above, watch what we do as we carry the legacy we learned from you. From heaven above, you may see us cry because we miss you so much we weren't ready to say goodbye.
For the Whitmore siblings, spending summer breaks with their grandparents are some of the fondest memories of being a kid.
We always went to Arkansas every summer for months and months and months. We would take that 12-hour drive from Rockford to Arkansas, and we'd just be out in the country, living the country life.
When their grandfather passed away last winter, the family was devastated, but they wanted to do something to honor his memory in writing.
One day, the title just washed over me, Before You Go to Heaven. And then I started writing it, but I still couldn't figure it out. So that's when I asked my siblings to join me into writing this book.
It became a group effort between sisters Antonia and Darby and their little brother, 17-year-old Royal.
We all put work in it together, so it's when you work together, it would be easier, except for just doing everything by yourself. Definitely our book signing, it felt wholesome. A lot of family came by to help us, support us and everything like that.
The book touches on the memories and lessons learned from all of their grandparents.
I was like, you know what, this is from my granddad, let's just do it. And so we came, with different ideas and I kind of put them together. The overall experience was really great.
Now published, Before You Go to Heaven is a testament to family from one Rockford family.
This was our way of passing on the torch like our grandfather did for us.
Now you can find a link to this book and a story on our website. Go to mystateline.com. Mimi.
All right, thanks, Blake. Well, above normal temperatures continue in the state line. When we come back, Jordan lets us know just how warm it will get this weekend in his full forecast in just a few minutes.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Bright blue skies with many of our Mercy Health SkyTrack cameras, and that's been a similar picture for many spots across a very broad region, even into the central part of the country, showing up a bright blue sky in downtown Rockford, on the northeast side in Rochelle, and up in Beloit. Underneath that added sunshine, our temperature was able to rise close to 80 degrees in some spots earlier today, topping out at 78 briefly in Rockford. We're now at 77 there, and in Rochelle, 79 in Dixon and Sterling, 76 in Galena, 74 in Poplar Grove. Our weather watcher Terry out in Genoa reporting a temperature of 77 degrees, a dew point of 51, northwesterly wind at about 7 miles per hour. Jean in DeKalb reporting a temperature of 75 degrees, humidity 38%, along with an 8-mile-per-hour wind. That humidity on the lower side, and that's going to really stick with us over the next several days. You can see the outgoing influence from this trough and this low pressure system to our east, exiting with it a lot of that cloud cover that we had yesterday, taking its place a very broad region of high pressure, and that's going to keep us really clear aside from just a few clouds day after day. This will also have somewhat of a blocking pattern tied into it as well. We'll have this low pressure system kicking in from the south and from the southeast, and that will force this ridge of high pressure overhead this weekend, and that'll continue going into next week as well. So what that means is we are going to see very similar weather day after day, which will lead to a lot of cool nights and a lot of very warm afternoons. Starting with the night tonight, we'll see our temperature dip back to the low 50s. Very similar to last night underneath that mostly clear sky. There is a potential for a few patches of fog, but given the difference between our temperature and dew point right now, I think that threat is a little bit on the lower side compared to where it might be going into tomorrow night. But we'll have those several days ahead that will remain underneath very warm afternoon and a very cool evening. 82 degrees for Friday, 83 Saturday, and into Sunday as well. 50s for those overnight lows. So overnight lows certainly able to open those windows, but afternoons, temperatures will be back into the 80s. There is a potential for some patchy fog starting overnight tonight. I think the threat highest well out to our east, but across northeastern Illinois, there is a potential, at least for a few patches, to develop. Tomorrow night, however, might be a little bit of a bigger potential for some fog here locally as we get a little bit more humidity to develop, and that would allow some areas of fog to develop Friday night into Saturday morning. Now, the exact coverage of that, still quite a bit uncertain as to how dense and how thick that it could be, but models have been picking up on that potential for some fog Friday night into Saturday now for a couple days, so we'll keep an eye on that potential. We'll also stay fairly dry really for the next week or so. This weather model keeps all of us in the state line completely bone dry for the next week, dry through at least next Thursday. Not the case down to the south. In the tropics, even down in the Carolinas, the influence of this tropical system will begin to work its way in. It has a pretty good chance to become a tropical storm as it works its way up toward the east coast. 80% chance to become a tropical cyclone in the next 2 days, and a 90% chance to become a tropical cyclone within the next 7 days. That will have limited impact to our weather here locally, but it could hog a lot of that moisture down to our south, keeping us locally pretty dry. 82 degrees for Friday, 83 into Saturday and Sunday. Overnight lows down in the 50s. There is that potential for some morning fog Saturday, but otherwise warm and dry for the next several days ahead. Even when we're down into the 70s, still above average for the middle of next week.
Looking good. All right, thanks, Jordan. Scott's next with sports. He'll update us on where the Cubs stand in their goal to clinch the top wild card spot for the playoffs.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Well, the Cubs still have work to do to try to clinch the top wild card spot in the National League playoffs next week. Their magic number for doing that is 2. And the Cubs can't clinch that tonight because the Padres don't play. That's the team they need to hold off. The Cubs will be playing at Wrigley. They will finish up their series against the Mets. Shota Imanaga will pitch. If the Cubs win, it'll be their 90th win of the season. The Cardinals will be on the north side tomorrow afternoon for the start of a 3-game series. The White Sox are facing the Yankees and Aaron Judge one more time tonight in New York. The Sox will close out their season this weekend in Washington, D.C., facing the Nationals. Well, the Packers' eyes had to light up last weekend when they saw the way the Bears dominated the Cowboys. Packers will try to do the same this Sunday night in Dallas. Of course, the Packers can't take any team for granted. They learned that the hard way last week in Cleveland. Although Xavier McKinney reminds everybody not to make too much out of one loss.
It's a loss. We keep moving. It's a third game. That's why I said last week, like, it's just one game. It ain't gonna make a break. Like, We just got to keep moving forward. A lot of these guys been playing long enough to know it's hard to go undefeated. It's not a lot of teams to do that anyway. So it's one game, you lose, okay, you figure out what you need to do better, get back to the drawing board, and then you move forward.
Well, the Stockton Blackhawks are on the Bears' radar. The Bears have named Stockton head football coach Sean Downey their high school football coach of the week in Illinois. Downey's Blackhawks have dominated the first part of this season, running away from all four of their opponents. Last Friday night, they blasted Fulton 49-0. Their 4-0 start is Stockton's best start in 9 years. This is Downey's third season as head coach. Another big Friday night of football awaits us tomorrow. We'll have it covered on Overtime once again this week. Overtime will be shown on WTVO at 11 p.m. That'll be 11 p.m. sharp, right after an expanded version of Eyewitness News. There could not have been a better day than today for the Nick 10 Girls Golf Tournament. It happened at the Montecito Country Club. Harlem Jr. Bella Lukey here, going to sink a putt. She finished in 4th place individually. Guilford freshman Rory Sweet is a young golfer to keep an eye on. She fired an 88 to finish in 3rd place. Hononegah Junior Alicia Wallen was near the top of the leaderboard as we expected. Wallen shot an 87 to take 2nd place. The medalist was Boylan senior Demi Hampelo. She shot a great score of 77. Boylan won the team championship. Hononegah was 2nd and Harlem was 3rd. Also today in golf, Dakota won the boys NUIC championship. At sports, we'll be right back.
We will maintain a mostly clear sky as we head through the night tonight. Dry on the First Warn Interactive Radar from Rockford, Glass & More. Temperatures returning back to the low 50s for those overnight lows. There is a chance for a few patches of fog, but higher potential, and that would arrive Friday night into Saturday morning. Over the weekend, our air temperatures will be rising into the 80s for those afternoon highs and 50s for those overnight lows. We'll also stay dry all the way through the next week. Not much in the way of any rain chances until we head toward the end of the week, but temperatures, they remain above average all the way through the week as well.
All right, thanks, Jordan, and thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.